never trust the sound of smallest.
What's that off of? Is that off of
21 Pilots?
21 Pilots, yeah.
What happened to the 22nd Pilot?
You don't want.
We don't talk about that. Hey, welcome all to the Five Wild Bears
Kind of
podcast.
sounded like Bozo the Clown there for a second.
There you go. It's
The grand prize game.
that used to terrify me. The,
You know, in the old Bozo show, Cookie was just absolutely miserable. He hated his
he was
job.
probably terrified of the whole thing.
Do you think Bozo was like a slave driver behind the scenes?
I don't think he was ever like took. What was Bozo on? Was it on USA Network?
WGN.
WGN, yeah.
Superstation.
What did we
Superstation.
back when I was a little kid? I'm talking about little bitty. They had WDRB had that guy on there who was the clown in the afternoon. I can't remember his name. I can see him right now, but he was terrifying too.
I
He
can
always
see him in my dream.
no, I can't. I wouldn't go that far, but we. But yeah, the clown thing. Now, Bozo, you just brought up some horrible memories there of the WGN days when WGN was like a cool channel. It was like a local, like Chicago channel. Doesn't seem like it's like that anymore. I haven't really got on to WGN.
Like WGN like has that spin-off show from Sons of Anarchy called The Wild Ones or something like that.
Isn't it the? It's the Aztecs, isn't it?
No, I don't know. You're asking the wrong.
There's a
person.
new one coming out based on one of the other.
I didn't watch Sons of Anarchy. I heard it's great, but I'm okay.
Never didn't watch that either.
I've had my fill of Ron Perlman.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset that he's not going to be in the new Hellboy movies either.
Hellboy.
I like Ron Perlman. He was
he's a good
he was
actor.
good in everything.
He was great in Blade 2.
I was a big fan of him in the Mutant Chronicles. I thought that was one of the oddest movies ever made. But
I
it
don't know if
was
I've seen that one.
it was incredibly bleak, but it was really cool. It had a lot of really no name good actors in it. I mean, it was,
IMDb in it
It
right
had
now.
Tom Jane.
yeah, it was
28th century
it was
soldier
good.
Mitch
It was-
Hunter leads a fight against an army of underworld mutants.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but the description doesn't give it credit. I mean, it's like bloody and horrible and poorly
Is
acted.
it a sci-fi flick?
Yeah, it's
John
total sci-fi.
Malkovich is in that movie.
Yeah, a lot of people are in it. It's a really good movie. It's
Proz is in it
yeah.
from the Fugees.
I didn't realize we were going to be talking about Mutant Chronicles for.
I never heard of this movie
the-
until now.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great film. But thank you all for listening this evening. Thank you for everybody continuing to listen to us here on we're on SoundCloud and iTunes, Facebook, and now we're trying out, as you can see here, we got the video camera going. This is the second week we tried it, and we are wearing the same clothes as we did have in the last podcast, due to the fact that we're recording two of these in one
I need
evening.
to start bringing a different shirt with me.
We are
I was
sad.
thinking that too.
We are sad to say this, though. It's a tragedy beyond tragedies, and his fan club is really upset. Brian is not with us again this week. He's our YouTube eye candy. We were hoping to trot out here in the next few weeks. He's the face of
Brian's ever been referred to as eye candy in his whole life.
well, I mean, out of the four of us, he's got the most photogenic
He's
look.
got the look.
He's got the beard. He's got the voice. He's got the laid back kind of urban feel to him. You know, he knows how
Don't
he
think
knows how to
anybody's
do
ever
it.
described Brandon or Brian as urban
Well,
either.
you know, I mean, he's got it going there. He's got
Hey,
the.
update on your sister, John. She's watching Children of the Corn, according to Facebook.
Is she? Well, good. I'm glad.
While at Rough River. Like, I like a good horror film, but when you watch a good horror film out in the woods, it's like 100 times scarier to you.
Well, see, the thing I don't understand about it is I don't. Okay, her and her husband, they love camping. I mean, they do the camp thing. They've got the not the trailer. They've got a camp. They got a trailer they take down there.
Park it in the driveway.
Yeah, park a driveway. But they got a camper, and they just recently bought the car or the Jeep to pull it, and they go out in the woods. But my thing about it is I don't understand the whole, like, okay, I'm going camping, but then I'm going to be taking the DVD and all that stuff with me. I thought if you were to go camping, you're supposed to be out there to commune with nature, not to watch terrifying horror movies in the dark around a campfire.
I have no desire to camp out ever again for the rest of my entire life.
No way.
Like if the end of the world actually happens and we lose electricity and all that, I'll last like 3 days.
See, that's one thing that we've got that a lot of people probably don't have is just recently Charlie, my wife have inherited a farm down in Butler County, and it's a fully functional farmhouse.
You
could
inherited a farm?
yeah we a 30, I don't know, almost 40 acre farm.
Can I get the address for when the end of the world does occur?
If you're on the list, we'll let you know.
Dang.
You got to have a quality though. You got to be able to do something. It's like Brian's on the list because we feel that he could be amoral enough just to end people if necessary. He might do it. Can you do that? We'll give you the application. You can fill it out.
Brian's on the list and I'm not on the list?
Yeah, well, Brian's been around a little bit longer in the podcast. We'll get you on the list. We'll get you on the waiting list for a slot.
I get it.
We'll get you a slot on the waiting list.
Somebody once said to me, if you were to go back in time and be like in medieval days, how many days would it take you before you killed yourself?
Well,
As you would be like, I miss the modern world.
well, it would depend on where you landed as far as the in the medieval world. Now, I know we're not. This isn't what we usually talk about, but as a social study teacher in the building,
Sorry, I'm sidetracked.
I know you got us totally sidetracked. No, this is the way our show usually goes. We enjoy this type of banter more than we do actually like getting on a subject. And I mean, maybe we do. I don't know if the listeners actually like it, but we hope they do.
Think about it though. Like you're used to this. You're used to picking up your phone and Googling anything you want. You're used to air conditioner and TV and Pepsi and or whatever else, and or Coke.
Of all the modern conveniences,
I'm drinking a Pepsi, all right?
Pepsi. Oh gosh.
It's a choice of any generation.
That's why I always come here with just 2 separate Pepsis by themselves because I know nobody else likes it. Anyways, but then like all of a sudden you're transported back in time and you're seriously like you're out there during like the era of like the Black Plague and all that stuff. And like just imagine trying to adapt to that.
I would be like, I miss my indoor bathrooms and I miss being warm, but I sure as heck don't miss that Pepsi. Whew.
Screw you.
I came all the way. I came way back in time just to get away from that.
Now I'm officially off the list because I like Pepsi.
Do you like Pepsi or Coke? Tim's like Pepsi. I'm like, I'm sorry. You gotta go sleep in a barn. Well, but see, it would all depend on if you were going back in time exactly how you landed. Do you land as a peasant or do you land as somebody who's like a feudal lord? Because if you're a feudal lord,
think even being
you got
a
it pretty
feudal lord
easy.
would suck.
Well, yeah, it would suck, but I mean, it would still be a better deal
Sure.
than being out there
Better than being the
slopping around in the mud.
dung cleaner.
Help! I'm being oppressed.
I was going to say a line from History of the World, but I stopped. That one guy's job was the P-boy. But I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, we don't want to.
See, my job is to make you laugh on the farm.
Yeah, that's what Tim would be, the guy who goes out there and stands in front of the mutant biker gang and makes them laugh.
All right, guys, before you kill us,
Have you heard this one? There's a line out of,
let me ask you this question. You're transported back in time, or
How do you know that a knight has a mosquito in his armor?
Oh wow! Well, good. We got. I'm glad
I
we
need
got
to
that.
know
out of the
your
system.
opinion on web squirters. Do you prefer them to be mechanical or organic?
That would be on the list of the application. You'd have to get that right before you could come on. And do you know anything about structural engineering? Because our barn needs some.
Anybody
help,
that
so.
says organic is immediately off the list and
Can-
then put on a government watch list.
You can get yourself taken off the list real quick if you go run upstairs and ask Carla when she's going to have a wedding in the barn. That would be get you off the list so fast.
Let me tell you how much money you can make off of having like renting out your barn to be like a place for weddings.
I've been in this barn lately.
This is not a. This was an inside joke, and we'll fill you in later.
Yeah, we'll fill you in later on that one. Go up and ask
if
Carla
we-
about it.
If we continue with this conversation,
Yeah.
it might not be good.
Might not be good for John.
It might not be good for me.
No, he'll get mad, which is
Not mad, just not at you guys.
I don't know, that's
Just
what-
not mad. at you
Don't
guys.
poke the bear.
I do. That's where I'm doing it. I'm poking the bear tonight. So, but I know I'm in on the joke. But tonight we got several things we're gonna. Whoa! There you go.
We're talking about Fear the Walking Dead tonight, right?
No, we are not.
Mid-season finale.
Oh gosh, we're not talking Fear the
Oh
Walking
my
Dead.
gosh, the guy that's the prepper. It's all about him. and how he disgraced the Indians, and now they're out to kill him.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Fear the Walking Dead.
Do you actually watch that?
I do.
Oh no, absolutely not.
You're off the list.
Yeah, definitely off the list.
I watch it, I think, to just remind me what good television is.
There is no good television anymore.
It's not that.
Good television's dead. Good television is
I
totally
have
dead.
2 words for you, sir.
Yes, what would that be?
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh my
I have
gosh.
one word for you.
You and Carla and that Grey's Anatomy. What?
Legion.
Legion is good, but
really
it's
wish
way out there. I mean, it's so
Show.
totally out there.
On
Okay, I take
television.
that back. I do have one word. Preacher.
Okay, I've heard that season 2 is amazing, and it's a total 180 from season 1.
I've only seen 2 episodes of season 2, and the first one, the violence in it made Walking Dead look like it was made for CBS.
Let me tell you,
it
the
was
best
just-
part of watching Fear the Walking Dead is the previews for Preacher season 2. Oh, that looks really good. I should watch
I'll take
that
you up
show.
on that.
But
yeah.
like, I feel like I don't know. Do I need to watch season 1? Because I know.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely need to watch season 1 because you will
I
have
heard
no
season
clue.
1's a little bit difficult to get through.
Depends on what your definition of difficult is. Or you mean like difficult?
Is it on Netflix?
No, it's on Hulu.
I don't have Hulu.
Do you mean difficult in that it's like slow and it's hard to
Yes,
get through,
yes.
or because it's so
Not blasphemy.
out there?
so, yeah.
Well, blasphemy, yeah, it's got
blasphemy
its
aside.
time minutes, but I wouldn't really call it. How to put this?
Blasphemous.
No,
It's more
Sacrilegious.
along the lines of misunderstanding, as what I've seen so far.
well, it kind of takes. Yeah, I don't know how you would even put it as we've established before.
You said you never read the comics, right, Tim?
No,
Okay.
I don't know how to read.
Explain it, Charlie. I can't bring it. I can't.
I
put
know.
It in
I
words.
know the gist of it.
Well, I mean, there comes a point in the comic and also in the show where they kind of pull the veil off of religion, and it's still what we think of, but there's a component that has gone missing a long time ago.
Okay.
To say without spoiling it
Sure.
for you and for the fans, all 6 of you who are all the 5 Live listeners, who are
Five Live
watching,
listeners.
but
They started
it's-
their own podcast.
It's in the comic.
They don't listen to us anymore.
It's in the comic and also
We're
in the
5
series.
people that united over listening to Five Live Bears and started our own show.
He said, if them jokers can do it, so can we.
Now that they see the setup, though, they might
Yeah.
reconsider.
Yeah, I think you can see
Well,
the
they were fans until we started the YouTube channel, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, because you get a certain idea of how somebody looks, and then you actually see it. And I had to have my daughter put the wide rim on the or wide lens on the camera to get me in it this evening.
Oh, I
Only
thought
thing-
you were saying I was fat.
no, all you would ever seen was this giant like the lightning bolt in the center if she had, and she had to put it on there.
Anyways, yeah, Fear the Walking Dead. No, Preacher. I'm gonna watch. I just gotta.
Yeah, Preacher's good. But tonight we're going to discuss here a little bit the top 15 superhero movies that nobody should have watched.
If any of the Blades are on here,
Yes.
besides,
I'm sure it will be.
okay,
I'm sure with being 15 movies, there will be things on here that we actually enjoy.
Yeah. Well, let's just say it as kind of
Toxic
we always do,
Crusader.
is we kind of look these up in lists. We're not making this list up. This is what somebody else's opinion is.
I've worked on all week long.
Yeah. Different opinions will come and go. Some of these movies we will like, and some of them we don't. Just like a while back when we did the one on worst actors. It wasn't necessarily a slam on the actor himself. It was just the characters and the characters they played. We don't necessarily agree with some of them. But on some of these, we'll probably agree on some of these superhero movies that are made. Everybody in the room here is somebody who we all love superhero movies to some degree. Some of them different than others. Some of them that we agree with. Some of the big name ones we're kind of like, eh. Some of the smaller ones we're like, yeah, I kind of like that one. This, last week we talked about Spider-Man Homecoming and how it's not a small movie, but it was definitely a good movie. Wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but these are movies that I wouldn't even consider to be, shouldn't even have been made. And number 15 on the list, I think it's a definite, I will never forget going to see this in theater, but the Batman and Robin comes in at a big number 15 on the list tonight.
If I recall correctly, we were on a youth trip to Kings Island, and we decided to bail on Kings Island and finish our trip up by watching Batman
Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
It's the only movie I've ever been to on an opening weekend to where it was more fun to listen to the people make fun of the movie than it was actually to watch the movie. And we did that. These three guys sat in front of us, and they Mystery Science Theatered the whole movie, and it was just absolutely awesome listening to them. And because it was absolutely terrible. I've never seen that. I was not a big fan of the Schumacher Batmans, anyways. The Tim Burton ones were, of course. I mean, you can't go back and say Batman, the original one, was horrible because it set a precedent for a lot of stuff that came out after that. But
Yeah, the Keaton one was good.
even the second one, Batman Returns, wasn't incredibly bad. I would have liked to seen them take the Penguin in a different direction, other than some mutant living in his underwear in the middle of the Gotham.
That's exactly how Brittany found me. This mutant. in his
She's like,
underwear.
oh my gosh,
He's got fins for hands.
he's got flippers, and he's wearing his underwear.
What's next?
Number 14, I have never seen it, but I hear it's bad. Catwoman. This is the one with Halle Berry
Never
in it.
saw it. I did see a scene though. We referenced this in the last podcast about like top 10 scenes in a movie that were superhero movie that were awful. There was evidently a scene where Halle Berry is in on a basketball court with the main actor, and they're trying to show off their different moves, and everybody's like hooting and hollering.
Wasn't it Benjamin Bratt?
Yes.
Isn't Benjamin Bratt in that movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Miss Congeniality's Benjamin Bratt.
Does he play Bratman?
You're fired, sir.
Number, let me see here. Let me find
13.
it. Oh my goodness. My computer's messing up. Anyways, I don't need to see what number it is. Number 13. Yeah, here it is. And the picture says it all. It makes Wolverine look like he's taking a big poop. X-Men Origins Wolverine. We went and saw that in theaters. It's bad.
Oh, it's
It's
terrible.
absolutely horrible.
Was that the first Wolverine one with
Yeah.
Deadpool?
Yes, it had Deadpool in it. And once again, the best part was, of course, we only saw the $1 movie, and there was these two ladies that sat behind us, and she was like, I sure do wish I had his coat. You remember that?
Coat?
Yeah.
The guy from the Black Eyed Peas.
No, what's his name? Sabretooth was wearing this big
Oh.
coat, and she kept going, man, I wish I had that coat. It was funny because we got more out of it than that. Number
Schreiber.
Number 12, I saw this in theater. I'll actually go see it. I went and saw it. And at the time, I was like, yeah, that's cool. But now, no.
You're in the seat where you get to view it before you announce it.
Yeah, it's Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil.
Oh,
I didn't hate it.
I hated it. The playground scene where they fight.
Oh, yeah.
That's a classic.
It's awful.
It's
classically bad.
That is a classic.
Go watch that scene again. It was part of that same article I was reading, and that scene is even worse than you remember. It's
I
terrible.
don't know. I've kind of shut the whole movie out after seeing Netflix's Daredevil. After seeing the Netflix Daredevil, that movie just doesn't exist anymore. Now, I hate the fact that they went and made this just so they
Colin Farrell's Bullseye.
could.
miss.
That was terrible too. Number 11 on this fine and fancy list here, and I hated this movie. I was embarrassed to have watched it. This is the Fantastic Four from 2015. This is the one.
Oh, the new one? I never saw it.
You never saw it. You need to.
With Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah.
as Human Torch?
To be honest with you, he was actually the only part of the movie
Well, he's
that
a
was
great actor.
that was worth watching. The story's terrible. It makes no sense. The acting in it is just bad, and the thing in it is just it's worse than the one with Chris Evans in it. The Fantastic
where
Four.
the commish plays the thing.
Yeah, because they made the thing in this one out to be like this stupid kid who runs a junkyard, and I don't even know how he gets into the. Yeah, he gets into
the
it.
program.
Yeah, he's Reed Richards' buddy. Somehow they get tied in as at the very beginning of the movie. Reed Richards is like 12 and he's building something in his dad's garage, and it blows up and takes out all the neighborhood, and then he's like, "I wish I could be like you, Rich," or something like that, and it goes on from there.
Did you say rich or? Sorry. What's next?
I'm looking.
I never saw that Fantastic Four. I never wanted to see that Fantastic
I
Four.
watched it just hoping beyond hope that it wasn't as bad as what they were saying it was.
It looks so bad.
Let's see, number 10 here, one that should never been made. They say that, oh, yeah, I kind of agree with that. Anything with Seth Rogen in it. I'm just not a big fan of Seth Rogen. I mean, I know people are going to hate me for saying that.
The
but
Green Hornet.
The Green Hornet is.
Never saw it.
It wasn't.
Never.
It
Didn't
wasn't.
he like buy the rights and like pretty much own it?
It's not that it was a bad movie for what it was made to be. It was a disappointing comic book film.
Yeah.
It was a Seth Rogen stoner movie.
If
you like that type
it was
of
a
humor,
comedy.
if you
hero
like,
movie.
if you like Pineapple Express and Superbad and those type of movies, then you would like this Green Hornet. But it's not a good. He should have done a different character with this film. That character, even if they did like a campy version of it, I would have been okay with.
Right.
Like kind of
like they
a,
did the Phantom or the Shadow.
yeah, or like a modernization of like
The
the
sun is shining.
of the Batman, but the guy's slippery, of the Batman TV series from the
Yeah.
60s. That would have been a better representation of the Green Hornet. But like I said, if you take it as just a Seth Rogen stoner comedy, it's great. I don't really care for those movies. And it did have some scenes that made me genuinely laugh. But like I said, Green Hornet just should have been something better. Should have been
Right.
something different.
Right.
Unlike, the other movies on the list that are just terribly made films. It's not a bad
Speaking
movie
of
for what it is.
1960s camp, did you see the? I don't know if you probably haven't seen it yet, but did you see they're releasing a Batman animated movie that's based on that?
No.
No, but they should.
It's supposed to be coming out, and all the old actors have gone back and did the voices for that. Even Adam West, before he passed away, they got it. It looks like the old, but it's made kind
Does it
of
look
like
the Scooby Doo.
no, it doesn't
Okay,
look.
because I loved the Scooby Doo.
Because I would be down for
It looks more along the lines. The only thing I can really compare it to is it looks a lot of like the modern day Batman movies, sort of like The Killing Joke. It's kind of in that animation. But if it comes out anytime soon, it looks like it's gonna be awesome. Burt Ward, everybody went back and did that was alive. Did it?
Batman.
Oh yeah, this movie has this very special place in mine and Charlie's heart. Number 8, Spawn. They say it should never have been made. I beg to differ because it would have. It's a memory beyond memories. There,
It was a good movie at the time.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it just
I'm
for
sure
the
it
sake of
has
watching
not
it.
aged well.
in comparison,
John
like he's-
Leguizamo.
Now he was actually, as far as that movie
He
goes,
was the
as the
best part.
Violator, he's actually the best
He's a great
best
actor.
part of the movie. As far as the
Okay,
look and
maybe
everything,
not
they did a
great
good
actor, but he's
job
a
with
good
that.
actor.
John Leguizamo, 99 times out of 100, because he's in like 100 movies a year.
Yeah.
99 times out of 100 makes the movie better for being in it.
Yeah.
John Wick. He's in it for
Yeah.
all of like 5
As
minutes,
the,
and he's
mechanic
fantastic
guy.
as the guy who runs the chop shop.
In The
Yeah.
Pest.
The
Now that
Pest,
movie I didn't care for.
the Pest was not that bad.
The Pest is actually a good movie. It's kind of like Corky Romano.
I've never seen
Only
that
the reason
either.
I watched The Pest or even saw the movie is because of the cover art. That's the only reason I saw it. I kind of thought it was good. I've never seen this next one, but it's kind of in the same. It's in the vein with like Sin City, The Spirit. Don't know much about it because
Never watched
I
it.
haven't. It came out. It came and went.
Was that
I mean, it
with
was
Josh
just-
Hartnett, or am I thinking Sin City still?
You're thinking Sin
Josh
City
Hartnett's
still.
in Sin City.
I watched The Spirit, and I literally remember nothing of it.
It's like it's like it's been wiped from your memory. I didn't even remember it had been made until we started talking about it here.
Gabriel Mock? I don't know who that is. Samuel L.
It's
Jackson.
the dude from Suits. The older, not the, not the old, but the older guy from Suits. Not the 12.
Harvey Specter. Is in the suit. Anyways, continue. I
Spirit.
couldn't tell you a thing about Spirit. He got killed as a cop or something and came back.
Me neither.
Scarlett Johansson's in it.
Number 6, Spider-Man 3 should never have been made.
Nope.
I don't think they should have made Spider-Man 1. I think
I-
they should have just skipped it and went to Spider-Man 2.
I
mean,
have not watched all of Spider-Man 3 in one setting because it got spoiled by a member of our youth group. He immediately tells me, "Oh, what's his face dies in it? The Green Goblin kid,
Harry.
You mean Hobgoblin?
Hobgoblin? No, Green Goblin.
No, he plays Hobgoblin.
Is he Hobgoblin?
Yeah, because
See, there you go. I
Because
haven't even watched
William Dafoe plays Green Goblin. which is not actually not a bad Green Goblin. His suit's just terrible.
Franco, whatever his name is.
But Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin is one of the greatest villains in comic book movies.
Oh, no doubt. I'm not denying that. I'm saying that the suit was bad.
Oh.
The suit should have been different. If they had made something different, and that's the reason I'm hoping that with like the Spider-Man Homecoming series, Green Goblin's got to be in it at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And hope they do better than what they have done with Marvel involved. I'm sure they will. Number 5, I saw this, and it was terrible. Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds.
It was bad.
I mean, it was bad from start to finish.
I'm a huge Ryan Reynolds fan, and like ever since his days in Two Guys a Girl on a Pizza Place, it was a terrible movie. Terrible.
Deadpool is one of my little guilty pleasures. I like.
Don't feel guilty.
I like to
about
watch that movie,
That's a great movie.
and I didn't think I was going to like it. And then the first scene where the song comes on, it is "Call Me Angel." I was like, okay, I'm in on this.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a
good.
good movie. It makes me want to watch it.
Green
my-
Lantern
with my
is
headphones
one
on.
of my favorite, like as a kid, comic book characters. I always liked Green Lantern, and it was just so disappointing.
See, I've never been a Green Lantern fan. And of course, I wasn't a Green Arrow fan either until the show Arrow came out, because it just was my thing. I wasn't been a Batman guy ever since the start. Number four, we're going to do one more here, and then we're going to take a small break here very quickly. Number 4 is Elektra. Anybody remember that from Daredevil?
I watched it. Couldn't tell you a thing about it.
Me neither. All right, we're going to take a small YouTube break. We'll be back here in just a couple seconds. And,
Recording.
all right,
Okay.
we are
I couldn't recall
back.
James Franco's name.
after a short break. What's going on here? We don't usually do breaks in the middle of the show. That's not good podcasting unless you're doing 4 or 5 hour ones. But we are experimenting with a new camera my daughter got for doing her YouTube channel, and we are putting the podcast now on YouTube, which I thought would be fun to do for a while, and just to see what it would be like to be on YouTube, be a YouTube star. That's our attempt. We're going to be up there.
I'm hoping this launches my modeling career.
Me too. I'm hoping it does too.
You better work.
I want to be the before picture.
So I was just about to say this.
That's- I'm the before picture for all the.
I keep staring at my forearms in the camera, so
Yeah, we all look gigantic, and we're looking at the monitor here,
I'm just gigantic.
and I mean, I look buff. I mean, everybody looks buff in the camera. We've got a wide
I don't know what you're looking at, but I do not look buff.
I
I look
I
like
look
a
like-
fat slob.
I don't know exactly where to look.
I look less fat slobbish than I used to, so I'm pretty happy.
And
I was,
we got
worried
a.
the camera where they had 10 pounds.
If we've got the Imperial, the Galactic Empire flag on the front of the table here.
AKA Splashback.
Splashback's flag. Sure, we got that on there because I didn't want everybody to be looking at my gorgeous legs under the table.
That's why I wore long pants.
Yeah, Charlie wore young pants this evening.
Mine are on full display.
Tim's going to be getting all types of emails
Look at
later.
these
It's going to be
guys.
going good. Yeah, so we're going to be trying that, and hopefully in the
We're
next
starting a new podcast called Glop. The gorgeous legs of podcast.
Aaron going to be on that one with you. We have to have a contest. Best
He shaves
legs.
his
Oh
his
gosh.
swimmings meats.
Some swimmings. Speaking of that, is Shark Week? Is it on yet? Are we up to Shark Week yet?
I don't.
I
think
can't
so.
remember.
I haven't heard any more Michael Phelps.
I haven't seen any push notifications that Michael Phelps got ate by a shark or anything, so I was just curious and I didn't know.
This is off subject completely, but kind of not because we're talking about sports a little bit. Who else is excited for the Conor McGregor and?
I'm actually debating like paying for it.
Oh, I'm not going to pay for it. It'll be posted on Instagram within 5 minutes of the fight happening.
No, I'm not.
I just want to see which one gets owned in the first round.
Conor McGregor's going to get destroyed.
I think so.
I have
'Cause
no.
He's not a real boxer.
I
He's
have
getting
no.
paid enough to get
Getting
destroyed.
paid like $20 million.
I'm going to take a fall for $20 million.
I'd get punched in the face for $20 million.
Oh yeah,
I did this. Yeah, that's
Just
totally.
hit me. Just don't hit me in the brain. I want to be able to enjoy the $20 million.
Well, at least your kids would be
You'll
set
be
up.
taken care of, but
For
you'll
a
have
while.
to feed me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it'd be a tube. Talk about splashback. Anyway, finishing it up here, we got 3 left on the list here. The movies that should never have been made. These are comic book movies that should have never have been made. And I don't agree necessarily with this one.
We're in the top 3 now, right?
Yeah, we're in the top 3.
Top 3.
I don't
top
agree
3.
with this one because I think it's as part of the trilogy. Well, not the Star Wars trilogy, but as part of a trilogy. I think that it would be I almost said a trinity. I think that they just if they'd done something.
Blade Trinity.
No, a little bit more. They could have something more could have come out of it. But the X-Men Last Stand is they
It's
got a number 3.
awful.
You know, it's not good, but I mean, you know, I'm trying to be.
Let me list a couple of my gripes. A, they killed Cyclops way too fast. Spoiler alert there. If
Well,
you
he had to
haven't
be in
seen.
Superman Returns,
That's
so
true, yeah.
he was leaving.
By the way, he's supposed to be in the next X-Men movie.
Well, he was in. But see, they went back and they
Yeah.
reset the
Yeah,
timeline,
it's so stupid.
and if the, new one, if the next one's supposed to be in like the 90s or something. then-
Second gripe, Multiple Man. Again, one of my favorite comic book characters ever, and they totally used him terribly. Third, the Juggernaut.
Juggernaut, and that's
I'm the Juggernaut.
and which is sad because he's actually a pretty decent.
Oh, Vinny Jones is
Vinny
great.
Jones is great. He was great in Arrow. I liked him in Arrow.
And then
as
fourth, I hate the final Wolverine scene with him killing her. And
yeah.
like she's blowing away everything except for his pants. You know, his skin's melting off, his bones are degrading even though they're metal, but those pants stay completely intact. And he stabs her. And it's all about Wolverine again and his feelings and
you know, that's the X-Men for you. Number 2, yeah, I agree with this one because Nicolas Cage is. Well, I don't know. Ghost Rider. Yeah, Ghost Rider's number 2 on the
I
list.
have never seen Ghost
You've
Rider.
never seen it?
But I did watch a scene the other day. It made that terrible movies list of him where he's like freaking out and keeps turning like he's like threatening this guy and his face keeps slowly turning into Ghost Rider and it's awful. It's a Nicolas Cage freak out scene.
I didn't like it at all. It was terrible. And number 1, and I was reading an article about this the other day, Christopher Reeve, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Now, that is one definitely that should not have been made.
Which one was that one?
That's the one where he fights a nuclear man.
Oh, I like that one.
No, it's terrible. And it's terribly written. It's
a Cannon's film
it's
movie.
it's horrible. And
Just-
I read an article today that was talking that they were hoping that would save that movie was going to save the
I think I like
studio.
I think I like that one because it was like the first one I remember really like fully understanding as age wise. Because I always remember that the second one scared the life out of me when Richard Pryor and the robot people.
That's the third one.
Oh, third
yeah.
one. Oh, my
Second
gosh.
one is Zod.
Oh, okay, Zod I like. The third one, yeah, when those people get taken over and like turned into robot people, man, it
terrifying.
They were absolutely.
Terrifying.
I won't watch it to this day. They were absolutely horrible. I mean, it was just horrific. The way
I don't
they
like.
looked.
You go back and like see a picture, and it's not scary, but man, I was terrified as a child of that.
It was just that movie was just not that good anyway. I mean, it was just Richard Pryor. I mean, I know it was like at the height of his.
When I think of
comedic
Superman, I
talent.
think of an X-rated comic. That's what I think of. X-rated comedian.
Excuse me, I was
Richard Pryor.
Oh,
I
okay.
was like you're reading an X-rated comic.
No, sorry,
I was
comedian.
I was like, what?
Wow. I had just turned around and looked at the computer screen. He goes, "You know what it makes me think of? An X-rated comic." I was
You've been
what?
you
I
know
mean-
a different Superman than I know.
Well, I mean, but
He's got the entire Felix the Cat
back to what I was saying.
collection in his closet.
Richard Pryor was popular because of his adult-rated material. At the
Yes,
time.
okay,
And then
yeah.
they put him in with a kid-friendly movie and comic series.
Well, but he'd just come off like what was it, Brewster's Millions, and he had made that
Gene Wilder movie.
See No Evil, Hear No Evil, all those type things. So yeah, he
The
was.
jerk. Or not the jerk, the toy.
He wasn't in
I
the
say the
jerk.
jerk was
Yeah.
Steve Martin.
These cans.
Somebody's trying to get this.
Somebody hates these cans.
Take this plate back. There's snails on this plate. Don't look.
Take me as far as you're going. Like the next driveway. That's a classic movie. I love The Jerk. I hadn't seen it in a long time, but I do like it. So yes, there's your list of the top 15 movies that should never have been made as far as superhero movies. Any of those does anybody have anything you'd like to add to the list of superhero movies that should never have been made?
The X-Men movie,
Which
the last one, the Apocalypse one.
Come on,
I
that was
did
all
not
right.
like
No,
it.
they can't
It
say
was-
that
it
was
terrible.
what was so bad about it.
Everything.
No, we can't say
The
that.
Apocalypse character looked like a villain from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show in the 90s. It looked like he was fighting one of Rita Repulsive's characters she created.
I liked it. I did like that. Now that was one to me and whoa, watch the camera there, Kenzie. Off the wire. Woo. That was right there.
Can I have that $5 back? I need to put it towards the camera fund. I have to rebuy
That
it.
wire.
Baxter Stockman.
So anyway, back we almost had a disaster in the podcast this evening. Me and Brian went and saw Apocalypse together. Me and him had some time, and we went and saw it.
Mandate.
Yeah, it was Mandate. Yeah, it was either that or go see Finding Doria, whatever her name is. So we just go see it, and I liked it. If I could go back and if I could get rid of anyone, Finding Doria, whatever the name of the movie was. If I could get rid of any of them, though, it would be the second Fantastic Four movie, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
It's pretty bad.
Rise of the Silver Surfer. Rise of the Silver Surfer. That would be the one I would get rid of. It was just no.
Let me ask you this, okay? Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, okay? Which of those, if would you take back if you had to take back any of them?
Oh wow.
And if you say Ant-Man, the friendship's
No,
over.
not Ant-Man. Ant-Man was
Age of Ultron.
You say Age of
I think it could've-
Ultron?
I think it could have been a much better movie. Take it back and redo it, and take out your buddy.
Now
who
is
loves
that
the Inhuman so much? Get his stuff out of there.
is that
Yeah.
is that a parameter that you can take it back and redo it?
I don't care.
Okay, well, if we're going to do that, then I would have to go back and I would have to say the Incredible Hulk.
Are those? I don't know if I include those. I guess they're included.
Well, the Iron Man, and then you had the Incredible Hulk. That I'm not talking about the
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the
yeah,
Wu
they
one.
did
I'm talking
cross
about
over.
I'm talking about the one that had Ed Norton in it.
Yeah. I think maybe Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3. I think Iron Man 3.
If I'm going to get rid of one completely, it's going to have to be Iron Man 3 just for the way they did
Disgraceful
this.
Mandarin.
Yeah, it was the only MCU movie that I almost walked out on. Literally, almost got up and left. And only reason I stayed is because Susie was there, watching it with us, and she liked it. But I was so angry.
It just wasn't a good story.
Well, the problem is that they had a really incredibly good actor playing the Mandarin, and they screwed it up.
Ben Kingsley?
Yes, Ben Kingsley was great.
he's so
and I
good.
thought when I first started seeing it, they started showing previews for it and things of that nature. I thought, man, he is going to be so cool as the Mandarin because he was playing the part. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, what's all?
Yeah, he's just some
it's like a good
drunk actor
yeah.
guy.
I was like, oh man, I was so almost. It almost brought me to tears. Almost completely brought me to tears
I
because
wept openly.
well, because I'm a huge Iron Man fan. I mean, I don't know how long me and Charlie had talked about it in the past. It's like 10 years before they actually made or came out with Iron Man, how much we wish they'd make an Iron Man movie. And then when they announced that Robert Downey Jr. is going to play it, we almost, yay, okay.
No, I was excited.
I wasn't. I was like, oh, him? That dude?
Yeah.
But he wound up making a movie. But yeah, I would say the Incredible Hulk would be one I go back and change, put new actors in.
That's a good pick.
And-
Charlie, you said Ultron. Okay.
See, I liked Age of Ultron. I thought Age of Ultron was a decent flick.
I mean, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it's
Could have
not
been
as
done
good as it could have
better.
been.
Sure.
It could have, it could have been executed a little bit better, I guess. All right, so moving on this evening. We got one more thing we're going to discuss tonight, or actually a couple more things, two more things. Number one is first pictures have been dropped of Star Wars Land at Disney World. Their concept art has come out. We have put that on our Facebook page. It'll probably be on our Twitter page a little bit later, but it is amazing. It absolutely looks like it's going to be a great thing. We just got back from Disney World and a couple weeks ago, and they had done Pandora up from Avatar World, as it was called. They had the Pandora thing there, and they did a really good job with that. I mean, I'm not an Avatar fan by any stretch of imagination, but I can only imagine from seeing the pictures that they have of this what that world is going to look like as far as the Star Wars world goes. Didn't see a Millennium Falcon in it, which I was kind of. I'm sure it's going to be there somewhere, but wasn't really there. Would that be something, Tim? I know you've been to Disney World. Charlie's never been. We got to get him there when Star Wars World opens. But is that something that you would go as a fan? That you would go and stand in line for? I mean, because like when Avatar World opened, people were standing in line forever. I mean, it was several hours to get into the place.
I have mixed feelings about it. I would not go and stand in line for it. I would wait till the craziness dies down and then go. I think the idea of it is really awesome, but at the same time, I'm just like, are we going to overkill this so much that it's going to be like fatigue, like you were mentioning earlier? Like, are we just going to go too far at some point with Star Wars Land? I don't know. I guess that's where I'm scared.
That has always been my big fear since Disney bought it, and I had said it before that I'm scared. And this is for me, and I use this in my own personal life, and other people have different terms for it or whatever. But to me, it's the idea of the Pirates of the Caribbean effect, because the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie was it's based on a ride, and it was in the movie. I mean, I even remember we went to the theater and saw Pirates of the Caribbean.
Johnny Depp was really good.
Oh, it was awesome. Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean was, I was like, oh, we can't wait to see it. And then the second one come out, and it was just Johnny Depp being the same character again.
Same joke.
And then all of a sudden after
everything.
that, it kind of became Pirates of the Caribbean fatigue. And then they changed the ride. They had to put Johnny Depp in the ride, which I was not a fan of. Still not a fan of it to this day, even though I rode it like 4 times when we were down there. But that's kind of my fear of Star Wars is because even now you can start feeling a little bit of Star Wars fatigue coming in. And I think a lot of it has come in even as recent, or I've started seeing a lot more of it since this Han Solo debacle with the movie kind of came out. They've kind of shut up about it here in the last couple of weeks because it's hard to find things new about the movie coming out. But I think there's just a lot of fatigue on it, and that's something that for the super fan like I like to be, it's just kind of the point you're kind of like, oh, how much more stuff can they have?
Right. Like, is it going to be something you're like, okay, I want to go do that. I want to go see it. But then, like, once you do it once, you're like, okay, I don't need to go back to Star Wars Land again.
Well, see, for me, because just being down there, the thing about it is that I'm wanting something that's going to be super hype, spectacular. Mm-hmm. And Disney does a really good job of spectacular, but I don't necessarily think they do I don't know about the super hype spectacular that fans are going to want, and they're going to get down there, and I think there's going to be a lot of disappointment in what they.
Yeah,
what
are you going to get down
accomplish.
there and it's just like you're in Tatooine and you're going to walk through, and they got the Mos Eisley bar, and just stuff like that.
Well, see, that's the stuff I can see is it's be like, well, you had the Mos Eisley, and it's a quick serve place,
right?
And and different things like that. I've been very disappointed in the last, especially this time since we've been down there, because I was really hyped to go because I thought, man, I'm gonna be able to come out there with some really cool Disney park exclusive Star Wars stuff, and they didn't have anything. It was stuff that I had seen.
I really felt like there was a lack of stuff that I wanted to buy.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
Terrible as that sounds.
Only thing they had down there that I really got into and really bought a lot of was T-shirts. They had a lot of neat and cool Star Wars T-shirts, but I was looking for more of figures and things like that which you consider to be Disney Park exclusives. They didn't have any of them. They didn't have any pops. As you're on YouTube, you can see the pop wall behind us here. We were pop people. I went down there prepared to come home with 15 pops.
An extra suitcase full of pops.
And they didn't have any. There was none in the parks at all that I could find. So that was kind of a disappointment. So the pictures have come out. They're on Disney's Twitter page. You can see that this is all the D23 stuff that they've got coming out. A lot of concept art there. Check it out. See what you think. And I'm sure everybody has a different view.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. I mean, Brian, who's not with us again this week, is a massive Disney
Brian
guy.
Passed out from excitement.
Yeah, he probably did. But
I mean, I'll probably be more excited once I actually get to see more of it and not just the model and we get a more definite, of what's out there. And if I find out if I get to go pet an Ewok or something like that.
It had to be real Ewoks.
I mean, that's
like,
what I'm talking about. I mean, Disney's probably working on creating their own Ewoks currently.
now I could deal with that. See, because we went down there and Brian had talked about it before. The Jawas that you see in the Disney in the Force or in the Star Wars section of Hollywood Studios, and I think we saw one Jawa, and that was kind of neat to see that. We didn't interact with them. They'll interact. They'll take a piece of junk and give you a piece of junk. They'll trade for stuff, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they went on break when I saw them, so it kind of ruined the effect.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, we got to go."
Oh, let's get a picture of a Jawa. Yeah, he's got to go on break. It's a Jawa. He doesn't go on break.
He works his tail off out there. But so that's coming. I would like to see them. One thing I would like to stay in is if they were to build it is to stay in a Star Wars themed resort. Now that would be pretty cool. I told Susie I think that would be awesome to do, and this is just my idea, just kind of throwing it out there, Disney, because it would be awesome to do. Is come around the corner and the
And you fall in the Sarlacc pit.
no, well that would be like the swimming pool. You could it'd be like the Sarlacc pit, but that the entire
Boba Fett's on the bottom of it.
the entire resort is indoors, and the entire resort looks like a Star Destroyer. That would be awesome. Like 300, 400 room Star
Darth
Destroyer
Vader walks by and chokes somebody every night.
down in the hallways. Yeah, he'd be like,
There has to be a cantina restaurant.
Of course.
yeah,
I want a Rancor pit.
where you fight the Rancor.
Yeah, you got to actually fight the Rancor.
That would be awesome.
But instead of cantina, they'll probably have what's her name? The
Maz.
Maz's.
Yeah. I didn't mind Maz like a lot of people.
I don't
but
like Maz.
I didn't mind Maz at all. I just
I would have liked Maz if she wasn't so CGI that I wanted to.
She was very. I know people, y'all have giggled before when I talk about the books, but she's more interesting in the book. When you start talking about the books, she's far more interesting. I was like, "What's he?"
Sorry, camera people. I'm instructing my kid to stay away from the camera.
Our girls are sitting over here on the floor watching us, and Susie's doing something.
doing a technical support.
What are you doing, Susie? Oh, she's YouTubing tonight. Okay, she's trying to get us on YouTube.
Yeah, I just
Go ahead.
I don't know. I would like it just to be more like interaction with characters from the movie and things from the movie, and not just everything Star Wars themed. Oh, Star Wars themed restaurant, Star Wars themed gift shop. I don't know.
Well,
Like, what if Lobot ran the hotel?
Exactly. Like if I could stuff John in the tauntaun,
that would be amazing.
That's what the bed is.
gosh.
That's what the bed is.
You go in,
Have you seen that
just
sleeping
this-
bag?
There's just this
Yeah.
tauntaun.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Tauntaun sleeping bag, John?
I have seen a tauntaun sleeping bag. I would love to have
Know
one.
what we're getting you for Christmas?
Oh, I would sleep in it every night, right down here on the middle of the basement floor.
Because your wife wouldn't allow it in the bedroom.
Just, this will best on the outside. All right, let's see tonight. We're going to finish off with just a question. I'm going to let you two decide which question we finish off with tonight. Here's the first question. What movie do you wish you could erase from memory and watch again? This is like a would you rather. Or what is the darkest movie you have ever seen?
I'm going to go with that one.
You going with the
Okay, I'm
darkest
going
movie you ever
with that
saw?
one.
All right, y'all going with that one. Okay, so what would it be? I mean, there's plenty of dark movies out there, and I have seen a lot.
Now, do you mean dark as in like the lighting is bad, or dark as in thematically?
Because if we're going that way, I feel like every Marvel Netflix series is dark.
Oh, the Crow, definitely. There was not even any light in that movie whatsoever until the very end.
Oh my goodness. So what would you say? What was the darkest movie you've ever seen?
One I've discussed on the podcast before, and that was Running Scared with Paul Walker. Just for the one scene in particular that's just extremely disturbing. But probably 7.
7 was nuts.
I mean,
7 was
I don't
absolutely
and
insane.
I'm taking like horror films out of the picture because they're supposed to be dark.
Yeah.
I'm talking about non-mainstream or non-independent films and films that are meant to be for a mainstream audience.
What would you say, Tim? What would be your darkest movie that
I
you've
was
ever
reading
seen?
about Running Scared. I don't know. I don't think the movie itself is dark, but I feel like the ending was very dark. Is The Mist.
Yeah.
The Mist was bad too.
That ending like rocked my world because I just wasn't expecting it. Like I'm just watching this typical Stephen King flick with terrible looking monsters, typical
Crazy
people, and then all of a sudden, spoiler alert, he kills his son and everybody else in the car and runs out of bullets. And oh, by the way, he gets out, just wants to die, and the military saves everybody.
And it's all over, yeah.
And it's all over after he just shot his son in the face.
It was bad. That movie was absolutely the worst. Y'all picked the two I was going to pick too. That's one of them. Mist I'd forgotten about. I tried watching a little bit of the Mist show. Oh,
Oh,
no.
the previews look terrible.
Oh, it was horrible. I got through the first. I got through the pilot, and it was just like done. I was like, no, can't watch this. Seven. It is the only movie I've ever been into in a theater where when it ended, everybody got up and just walked out and nobody said anything. Almost walked out single file. It was just such a shock. That ending was just insane. As part
What's
of
in the box?
Oh, it was.
The box.
But it was intense. I mean, he played it good. Brad Pitt played a good part on that.
Brad Pitt's a fantastic actor.
And he did it incredibly well on that. All right. Well, we thank everybody for listening to us this evening, and we want to appreciate it. Now on YouTube, or at least attempting to be on YouTube. My daughter's running the camera for us this evening. She's trying to get things settled in. Primary Home, SoundCloud. We continue to listen to us on there. iTunes or Apple Podcasts, whichever.
Or Facebook.
Facebook. You can catch us on Facebook too, and we're on Google Play. And we thank everybody for listening to us this evening and hope that you've had a great weekend. And we'll see you next week.
Sorry, Brett.
Brian should be back next week.